Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us to use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in thy holy name, amen, which will provide. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. If you'll notice the boxes to your guys' right over here, them are all new lights that we got through a grant. They're gonna be going up real soon, that's why they're still in boxes, okay?
That's what I assume.
Okay.
Nice.
Welcome everybody, Tom and Calvin. Either one of you have anything for the public forum you'd like to discuss?
I got a couple of things, very quick. Still trying to get an answer out of the state on the speed limit by Hudson Headwaters. You know, with the winter solstice coming, the sun's setting late, and earlier I should say, and the sun's rising later. You know, a lot of traffic hitting that sunset at drive time, morning and evening. So I'd like to see that done this fall, if possible. The sales tax numbers continue to be way above projection. Based on last year, we're 16.5% over last year's actual. And of course, Mike Zerlo, when he does the projection, always projects cautiously. So we're about 30% over his projection. So for the town and village portions of that. So that's a substantial amount, and I'm sure he makes his projections available before you do your budget, right? So that's going to be part of it. The Village of Rouse's Point passed the, since none of the rec trail is in their municipality, they passed that they're okay with the idea. So they're not, you know, that's what they thought was the appropriate way for them to pass it. So they're on board with it too, as far as naming it for Harry. Excuse me. So sometime not too distant future, I'd like to talk to him and get an idea what, you know, if you want Harry J. Recreation Trail. If that's, you know, that sounds good to me, but you know, his name's going to be on it, so whatever. And I looked at the Gordy Little Bridge in Morrisonville, and I thinking about it, I think the Perry Bridge in Plattsburgh is the same way. As far as marking it, all they have is like these highway signs in brown with the lighter lettering. So rather than get into some engraved thing that people can't be able to read, you get a highway type of sign, put that up. So it shouldn't be any big impact on the town budget, and the village could probably do the same on their part on Elm Street. Town could put theirs up on off the Prospect Hill Road, where the trail actually moves out into the wooded, you know, the cornfields and so on. Eventually, whether you'd want to put them on each side of 276 and the village put them on each side of Prospect, I don't know, but you know, at least get the entry parts marked.
Okay.
So I don't know if the town can afford to buy a highway sign, and you know, that'd be the only expense. So
I don't see that as an issue, I mean.
Now, I'm willing to be the liaison for that if you want. I can work with Alan and
okay,
you.
and I'll talk to Janet, and you know,
Get the right wording, what they want on it.
yeah, I want to talk to Harry, see what he'd want
And
on there.
I get it made.
I don't know what a turnaround is and that type of a thing.
I don't take long.
Doesn't take long, so we could probably still do it before cold
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah. Do it so we can stick a pole in the ground where the ground freezes,
Yeah,
Yeah, if you even get the post in first, right?
I suppose, yeah. Some kind of post they want, then double posts or.
okay, so I'll talk to Harry and,
How large are the signs, Calvin, off the bridge that you're referencing?
well, but I would say, looking at it, I didn't get out and measure the thing, I'd say they're probably 2 feet wide, you know, maybe 18 inches. I don't think they're quite square, maybe they might be 2 feet by 2 feet, I don't know, it's nothing, you don't wanna get something too big that's gonna be kept blowing in the wind, so it's certainly no bigger than a stop sign.
Okay.
And the fewer words you put on there, the more size you can have on the wording, so.
Right.
You know, if you get lengthy, then you know, so it's nice when you go by a sign on the side of the road if you can read the darn thing,
Absolutely.
you know, so. So next time you're in Morrisonville, take a look at Gordy's Bridge,
Don't
and
go that way very often.
look at Dick Perry's Bridge in
There we
South
go.
Catherine.
I will do that.
Anything else, Cal?
That's all I got now.
We did get a notice today from the county pertaining to expenses for next year's elections. And that's up
Yes,
around $3,000, I believe, so. Okay. And then I noticed they are paying more for workers now, considerably more. Maybe they have to.
yeah, I would imagine.
At the old rate, I don't think people were making minimum wage,
And
working the polls, you know. So they upped that to $250 a day for workers now. It was $150 for a long time. And that's including primary, if there's primaries. More than likely, there will be at least a Democratic primary next year for governor. Whether there's any others, we don't know. There probably will be. Okay. But that's just for information only.
yeah, it's getting expensive to vote.
It's not cheap. Tom, you have any questions you want in public, or?
No, well, we were supposed to present a report hopefully by now. We're still not quite finished. We're working on it. As you know, we had very much data that came in late. We're all copied with the revised interim summary, with the new dollar amounts, etc. Do you have any questions on that for me?
I reviewed it, and I thank Rick and Jason for working on it for such a long period of time. It was quite complicated, let's put it that way.
Oh, for the EDU assessment, you mean?
Yeah. You wanna take that now, Rick? I was gonna have it towards the end of the meeting, but that's fine.
Now, the only question I have, Tom, is Roman numeral 3, the EDU ratio. I believe that the town of Champlain's percentage should be 42.6%, because those two percentages are over 100%.
Then I have a typo there then.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
I think the
Yeah, it
town
is
should be
supposed to be
42.6,
It is,
correct?
it
Okay,
is. That's a
yeah.
typo in the
I
document.
figured it was a typo.
Yes, it is, thank you.
Other than that,
Other than that,
look good, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because
I
I
don't know
think,
what you thought, but.
yeah, because I think the numbers, you were supposed, we're gonna just make sure that we got the discrepancy on the, like, the little off of the numbers and all that was, we were all set on that, right? I think so.
You mean on the two different spreadsheets?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was that I went out the full decimal places, so, if you looked at it, so.
Yeah, I did look at it. Actually, what I found was the document that we're using is for the IMA, goes out to 6 decimal places.
Yes.
Because Excel's doing the calculation.
Correct.
And on yours, from what I could see, the percentage was just entered as a absolute value.
I did it off of the original document in
Yeah.
terms of, I think you're going out 2 decimal places because you're rounded off, so
Yeah.
that's what I did. Yep,
And that's why we're a few dollars off.
right, correct.
So the one that's being used is calculating correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest reason I created the document I created is that automatically it goes through and looks at each of the various sections of that document, and based upon the percentages, it automatically has logic statements in it, so it automatically will change the percentages based upon whether or not there's a increase of 40 EDUs or more.
Yes,
So,
if and then logic formula in it, so I know, I saw that. That's all I could find out, and it was
right,
because of that value being entered as a absolute value instead of the big long one that Excel probably.
Rick, it's all part of the public hearing tonight, though, on the.
correct, it is, for our 7:15, correct, yeah.
7:15.
Yeah.
We'll handle just a few items and get back to that, okay?
That's fine, if there's no other questions on this, I'm fine.
Okay.
I can report more when we get the report completed.
We need to approve the town clerk's monthly report. Oh, excuse me.
Do we want to approve last week's?
Yeah, yes. September 14th, regular board meeting.
I will make a motion that we approve the September 14th, 2021 minutes.
I'll second
the motion.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Now we'll do the town clerk's monthly report. I'd like a motion to approve Julie's report.
I'll make a motion that we approve the town clerk monthly report, September 1st through September 30th.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. I assume a lot of this has to do with hunting licenses?
Yeah.
Yes, it was very busy.
I see that.
Yes.
Quite a few building permits, too.
Mhm.
Yeah, 8. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
I made the motion.
Okay. All
Right,
right.
And the second was Brian.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Do you have your JCO monthly report? Quite extensive. Updated. You have your.
I have a question on that,
Yes.
Larry. Down at the bottom, they references Sam's Club, free food Thursday, 15 unduplicated families, 75. Can I get an explanation in terms of what that means, what that is?
Do not know.
I do not know either, so that's why I brought it up.
Thank you, we'll try to find that out for you.
Thank you.
You have your court officer's report for the month. I read it over. Quite extensive.
Yeah.
It's quite busy. You have your zoning board of appeals minutes, or theirs, your board approves those minutes, we do not.
I have a question, if we can back up to the code officer's report, but this was from August, and I didn't catch it last month. I noticed in there he mentioned that Miramar, that there's additional damage that's occurring, and it happened to be with mattresses and things. I just wondered if there was more information on that, what's going on there on that property?
I know they found people sleeping in there and stuff like that, you know, vagrants.
Okay,
I do not know that.
okay.
But he's quite busy, considering he's got the other two, village and town to take care of, JC.
Yeah, I appreciate it, it's a very detailed report, so I think it's, you know, very comprehensive, so.
You got your zoning board and your planning board minutes both. They read those over. Well, I got just about quarter after those you guys got.
I've got about 7:50.
Okay, so I'd like a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll make a motion, we go into a public hearing for the water law.
Yes, existing Champlain code, okay, thank you. What a second that I have on that, thank you.
Also,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay. Now we're getting back to the water EDUs, and Rick, I read it over. But want to explain how we got to this point, I guess, and it's been a long road, right?
it's, we're getting there, we're
Yes.
closing the gap.
Has everybody got the letter, Rick, Jason, that you wrote now?
Yes, I gave everybody.
I read it over.
I gotta give one to Julie.
Jason and I discussed it, I think it was well written. There's a letter to go with the water bills, am I correct?
Yes,
Or the
so
EDU bills?
it's really Rick put together the crux of the letter with the new appeals form. I just added a few things to it, but the bulk of the work was done by Rick. And we've got our code here, which I think is, it needed to be updated, and we did that. We spent a long time putting that together, and we think this is gonna give us I can speak on behalf of the committee, I think a clearer path moving forward on how we're gonna be dealing with our EDUs in the water district.
And approximately 3 years has gone by, so we've
Yeah.
made adjustments, rightfully so, okay? Okay. Nick, anything you wanna add, or?
No, I think the initial document along with Jason's rationale will be able to, be complete by Monday. And so it's something that will be prepared and ready to go out with those bills. So each of our customers, both residential and commercial, will be able to kind of see not only an understanding of how this committee has moved forward, but also a rationale as to why. Because as Jason mentions in his rationale, it's about sustainability. And I think that's exactly what we're trying to
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Economic growth, so.
This will not affect the bills going out, it'll be affect the bills after January 1st.
Correct, and the letter does document that. It indicates that it becomes effective January 2022.
Okay. Any questions? Brian, have any questions or concerns?
No.
I don't either, I read it over. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was, well, a long time coming, I think we've said that, and but we buckled down, and it took several months, but, the better part of our summer was spent on this, and many thanks to the people who served on that committee, and, it just, a much more, can I use the word comprehensive maybe? That we're kind of making the code just work more for the system that is currently in place.
Right.
I think if the town residents really wanna understand, the code that was written was based on, I think, the theory that this is the system that's going in, this is what's gonna operate, and then now that we've worked with the system for a few years now, we have a better understanding of how the water system really operates within the town, and this code better addresses
Correct.
what's going on.
And it addresses the parity across the board in terms of those residential and commercial properties that weren't properly assessed.
Correct.
So now these adjustments will take effect and in effect, will, I think, put everybody on a level foot moving forward.
Correct.
So,
And we knew early on, 3 years ago, that adjustments would be necessary.
Exactly.
correct.
Okay, we knew that.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Public hearing? Tom, anything?
No, I'd be anxious if I could have
Yeah, we'll get you a
Copy of
copy,
that.
absolutely.
a, love to read it.
Okay, I need a motion to come out of public hearing, back into a public session.
I'll make a motion to come out of the public hearing and go back into regular session.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Now I'd like to motion to approve the changes as presented to us. All three speak at once, please.
I make a motion that we approve local law number 3, which looks to amend the existing Champlain Code 124-51, both the schedule of charges and section 124-52, the liability.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Any concerns or questions at all? If not, I believe we'll have a roll call vote on this. Rick?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
And I for myself, thank you. Thank you all for working on that.
Did I have that?
And I can send that to both of you.
Yeah.
So what will happen is that this will come inside of this paragraph here. So I'll send you an update.
Okay.
Okay, Alan, Superintendent of Highways report, invited Alan in here tonight to explain about a possible truck purchase. And the delay I should have getting trucks, let's put it that way. Over a year wait to get a truck is unreal.
Back in March, we ordered a new truck. It was supposed to be, scheduled to be in here by this coming December. And last week, they told me that I'm not gonna see that truck till March. upon doing this, we said that we're gonna order, as soon as a new one comes in, we're gonna order another new one, take a year. Well, apparently, it's gonna take a year and 3 months to get a truck. So if I get board approval to order a truck, and let's say I order it sometime in this month, it's gonna take, I won't see that truck till March of 2023. But to order a truck, I need board approval. The way it's going there, if you see your monthly bills, the money that we spent on trucks, it's unreal. I mean, we got 2013, I mean, it's a constant, I don't know how I'm gonna make the winter, but it's a constant repair bill all the time.
Yeah, I noticed in the amounts to be paid, that truck repair amount of over $16,000.
Wow, you know,
We understand.
I get a budget every year to work with, and come to find out, it's always repairs.
Yeah.
I mean, that pollution they put on these trucks, we can't work on them. And you send a truck down, they got you. I mean,
Right.
they work on them, and that's $8,000-9,000, and it's all it is, it's that pollution.
The catalytic converter?
No,
Is
it's
it-
it's
or
like
is
a
it
great big filter, and the way it's put in the truck, it's underneath the passenger side. The salt gets in there, corrodes it. And these trucks are 2013, I mean, the other day, well, a month ago, we sent one down, I figured it was just a minor repair, well, that big filter that in there was $9,700, I almost fell over backwards. And then you got the clamps, and you got the labor, and it's nonstop. And I just sent another one down today, this one here's got a problem just like it, but I think they can save some of the parts. It won't be expensive, but it's gonna cost them money again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a bad spot where they put these filters, it's all air pollution, and when that filter gets off the road and plugged, the truck has no power. We were drawing sand with it the other day, and it stopped right by Dragoon Property, it stopped right there. Truck ran, put it in gear, and it just barely crawled, there's no power to it. The filter's shot, filter's plugged.
Can I ask how many miles are on those 2013 trucks?
One's got around 78,000, and the other one's about the same thing, 74 or something. It's not the mileage, they're always in the salt.
It's the winter weather, yeah.
But the newer truck we bought a couple years ago, that's a whole different thing. They've changed that, it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, it doesn't see the salt, it's inside the engine compartment, it's completely different. But these old ones, it's underneath the passenger side, it's like having another fuel tank, it's right there.
Right.
Yeah. You either pay it in repairs or you pay it in payments, and it's
Well, you
simply-
think in the winter, you're gonna have something to depend on, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the key right there.
I mean, I thought 10 years in these trucks would be good, you know, trade them in every 10 years, but it gets to the point, they don't even make 10 years.
The one that we're trading in this coming winter here, is that one of those 2013s?
Yep.
Well, that might be half the problem, get rid of the one.
But I think these trucks manufacturers, they're short on chips, they're short on plastic to make these trucks and labor. That's what they tell us, that's the holdup. Before, you used to order a truck in 90 days, you'd have it, but now it's a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on where they're manufactured, and if they're overseas, I tell you, it doesn't cross all industries. People are waiting on things, so.
Parts is another thing too, you know, you send a truck down there and they're willing to do it, but they don't have the parts put in.
It's no win, it's a no-win situation.
I mean, we're not alone, I talked to other people from other towns and they've got about the same problem.
And we've been over a year at the village. It's due in any kind now finally, but the body was another
Yeah.
holdup. The truck got built in a decent amount of time, but to get the body and the plow,
Well, yeah,
that was another 9-10 months.
yeah. They do it right here in Barry, Vermont.
Well, it would be my recommendation that we approve ordering one for a year and a half, well, roughly a year and a half from now.
Yeah, I think we all can agree that the residents expect our town roads to be available to get through even in some of the worst conditions. And that's what the highway department does, and if they don't have the right equipment, then they can't do what they need to do and what people expect. So I'm with you on that, I think if the recommendation from the highway superintendent is to go ahead and order it, I think we should.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
And I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
So,
Any questions, anybody? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, all fours. Okay, thank you, Alan. Anything else, Alan? or-
No, that's it.
The salt, excuse me, the sand came in real,
Yeah, we had a nice fall, we brought it all in, we brought over 400 loads here, and we supplied both villages, and it went really well this fall, besides our mishaps, but.
okay. Couple things I have here. We need to schedule a public hearing for our budget at our next, board meeting. It has to be before the 15th by law. And our meeting is November 9th, Tuesday. I'd like a public hearing, 7:15 to be okay with me. November 9th, to review, present the budget and pass it.
I make a motion that, on November 9th at 7:15, we will hold a public hearing to, present and approve the 2022 budget.
Thank you,
I'll second that.
thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's also carried. Thank you. And Julie will have to put in a paper on that, okay? We have a vacancy on our Board of Assessment Review. We have a person that resigned, an elderly gentleman, Norm Skofsky.
Karofsky.
Thank you. And we have a person that's interested in that position, that's Mike Tatro. And it was, Tim Sapinski certainly is okay with that. I have no problem with Mike coming onto that board. I would like a motion to approve that, if that is the will of the board.
I'll make a motion to approve Mickey Tatro Jr. to the board
Okay, thank you.
for
I'll second
assessment
that.
review.
Any questions on that one? Julie, 3 or 5 year term? Do you know? I think it's
I think
5.
it's 5.
Yeah, I think it's 5 year term.
5
There's
years.
5 board members, one comes every year. So they don't all come the same time.
Should we send a letter of thanks also to Norm
Yes.
for his service?
You do that, Julie? And he was on there for many, many years. Okay, if there's no other questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. New truck, we got that. Okay. Jason, would you like to address the Hometown Hero Committee thing? That we're still looking for people? or-
Yes. So, the town, in talking with both the village of Champlain and the village of Rouse's Point, the town would like to start its own committee for the Hometown Heroes program. This is, if you're unfamiliar with this program, this is a program that allows family members and their those that were involved, veterans of any war, any branch of the military, anytime, whether they are alive or deceased, to have a banner made and then displayed in appropriate or designated areas. In this case would be in the town. The village of Champlain already does this program, and the village of Rouse's Point is, I think, on the doorstep of getting their program just about finished or off the ground. And Sarah, I believe, sent out she sent out on social media, try to find out if people were interested in getting involved with this, but we haven't really had much response, so kind of asking if there are other members out in the community that would be willing to sit on this committee with myself and the other volunteers that step up. I think Sarah's willing to help us out as well. So if anybody's willing to work on this, it's a great opportunity to celebrate those that have served in the armed forces.
Have you checked with the Legion and the VFW
We've
to
talked
get,
about,
to get some volunteers from there? I think a lot of
That's
them
our
would.
that's our next step,
there's a
yes.
new, he's called the commander, or what he's called at the VFW.
Jeff,
They have a
Jeff
brand new
Addison?
one This past 2-3 months here.
Mhm.
I speak to him if that's the will. He would have a good handle on their membership and who's, okay.
You might get some volunteers for that committee and,
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
and it is important that there is a committee because all submissions need to be reviewed and vetted to make sure that all of the information is in fact accurate when we go to process the applications. So,
I don't know who's the head of the Legion now, do you know that, Rouse's Point?
Isn't that Bobby St. John?
Bobby St. John, I think
it
still.
is still,
Yeah, I
yes,
think so.
yes,
Yeah, still Robert.
Pretty sure.
yes.
Okay. And Jeff Addison is the one here, VFW. He's a retiree, military retired 20-some years.
Yes.
And there's a, I got those books, I'll try to find them and bring them in the next couple of days, that Jim Rochester wrote about all the veterans. And there's an extensive list in there. Okay.
Yeah, the goal would be to have this process and committee all established so we could execute the actual banners being put up, I think in the spring would be the goal. So it would get us through the rest of the fall and winter months as the project. And if people, again, are not familiar with the Hometown Heroes program, basically fill out an application, it requires a certain amount of information, and the banners are at the expense of the people that wish to have them displayed. It was their property, and through the help of possibly the highway department or maybe other, maybe the telephone company or NICEAG or somebody that we can work with to help us get the banners up and then get taken down, but they are technically the property of the people that do purchase the banners, and so they will go back to those people after they've been displayed. I think we're talking 2 years, yes.
So one of the things, I know Rouse's Point actually has the applications for interested families within inside the village. They can pick up their applications at both the library and also the village office. So if you'd like, I'll get a copy of one of those applications, so you have something as a starting point to
Please do
decide.
Yes.
And the village Champlain.
Champlain, Plattsburgh, the town of Plattsburgh also had their program. There's
But I'm
just
glad,
about every municipality is, or a committee within a municipality is putting together something for these hometown heroes, so.
well, I'm glad you brought it up and are already moving forward with it, because I've had some interested people in the town bring this up to me already, and I was gonna suggest that to you guys. So, good deal. So you've already got some families that would be wanting to do this.
Okay.
Can I just mention
Yes.
the same thing? So, with kind of another shifting gears, the business directory that we approved and talked about, and we sent, thanks to the help of Julie, we sent out through bills. People interested, businesses interested in being on the town's business directory. There was also applications available in Rouse's, at the village of Rouse's Point, in the village of Champlain. There's also a form on the town's website, Town of Champlain's website, people can fill out, and it's launched, it's up and running. So Sarah very kindly and dutifully has been working on taking all of the businesses that have responded, and we have our directory started. It's a starting point, it's definitely not complete. But if there are any businesses that are out in the town of Champlain, again, this includes both the villages, any businesses in the town of Champlain, fill out the form, or call Sarah, send Sarah an email here at the town, and we'd be more than happy to get your business listed on that directory.
Okay, thank you. Julie, do you have anything before we pay the bills?
The water report needs to be,
On the water report?
I can do the water bills.
Water bill needs to be. These bills just coming out here. So,
changes, Julie? This is,
There was a couple new, customers,
okay.
not with a lot of usage, but there was a couple new customers that we have.
Are they denoted in any special way on this, Julie?
The new ones,
Yes.
I
I guess the
No,
question I'm
they're-
really asking is in terms of moving forward, it would be nice if there was a way on this queried report where we can kind of denote those people that are new customers, and it just brings it, I think, to the board's attention
Mhm.
moving forward.
no, it's not in any order here, but that's something I wanna ask our program company, because if you look at this, they're not in any kind of order.
Right.
So, I find it's even hard for myself when I'm doing the bills, cause I'm skipping around
Right.
trying to find them. So if it was like in order, cause the newer customers would be at the end of the report,
Okay.
but this is not in that order. I have to contact the program people to see if we can do it in an order, so it'd be much easier to look at.
Am I correct, that usage is probably up, you know that?
I'm not sure.
It looks like 3,000,000, 653,000 gallons. I believe that's up, well, for my information, I wanna check on that. Okay,
Yeah, the only column that I can see that actually references anything in terms of some type of order, Julie, is that page code. And I'm not sure how that, comes into play, so I agree. So let us know what the company, software company, kind of lets you.
Yes, I will.
move forward.
okay. Need a motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the water meter report dated October 12th, 2021.
Thank you,
And I'll second that.
thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. What else you got, Julie? Then next,
Well, I've got some extra bills that need to be read. Want me to do those now or
well,
after?
no, let's I need a motion to approve the bills as presented with the additions that Julie's gonna be reading. I'd like the motion first.
So I have a couple questions on that. So the ice salt in the amount of 33,649 and change, that's gonna put us sitting pretty good for the
Yeah,
winter?
that's what it took to put the sand in the building.
Okay,
Now, I still got some on reserve,
okay,
so if we actually need it, we got a storm coming, I order a load. Sometimes you got a road that needs a little extra attention, you just put a little more salt in the truck.
Okay.
But it won't, you ain't gonna see that again. I mean,
Okay.
that big amount is done.
okay. And the overhead doors installed,
The overhead
off
doors.
and working fine?
Yep.
Please, good.
Alan, probably, the railroad crossing, in here, is that, something that we
Yes,
discussed?
I had railroad crossing on the Hayford Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
We paved that road, we had to get that done.
Yeah,
And the Stetson Road, never had got it put on. Don't ask me how come the railroad never bothered me, but I had it done in case something does happen.
Yes.
That, you know,
So that's what that was in, very good.
and then on Prospect where the bike trail goes through, the lines are getting all faded and worn out. He redid the lines, going into Ross's Point, the bicycles emblems on the road.
Yes.
He redid them,
Okay,
and then going over to Pillsbury Road did the same thing.
okay.
I mean, it makes 3-4 years now, that bike path, in the winters and the snow plow and everything else, it wears it down. So, it keeps it up. And we're good for a while there now, we won't have to get that done.
No, that's good.
And he also did the parking lot here.
Here was all.
Parking lot got done,
Restriped.
and he threw it in as a freebie.
nice,
Last weekend.
nice, good work.
Okay. Did I have a motion to approve bills?
Not yet.
No, I'll make a motion to approve the bills as is.
Including the one she's gonna present? Well, go.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
thought she
you
should
probably
have
should.
presented.
Okay.
those.
Okay.
Please do.
So we have Casella, for $90.89. This is the monthly billing for the garbage. Dig Safe, $11 for dig location request. Morrow's line striping for $1,183. Press Republican, $93.18 and $28.30. Those were both for legal notices. Verizon, $23.24 and $37.99 for a total of $1,467.60.
Okay. That's one of both the bills that was in your folder.
Okay.
Up and above the $84,046 and change.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'll make the formal motion to accept the bills, including the additions that Julie read out.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Is there any questions on any of the bills? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Julie's got one more, it looks like.
Water District number 6 disbursement, approval number 74. The Village of Champlain for $39,560. Looks like it's for the generator.
Are you aware of this, Tom?
No, I'm not sure what you mean. When you say generator now, I'm
Confused. Yes, it is.
And it says
We've
generator.
applied on EFC money. We think we have enough left. They reviewed it. I'm not gonna say they approved it, they wanna take a look at it. Hopefully they're gonna approve, pay for that generator for $39,000 out of the project.
okay.
Instead of
I am
amortizing.
hoping that's done
Appreciate
before
it.
December 31st. Okay, that we get approval. The architect, the engineers tell us it's very possible. And we're lucky we've got that kind of money left, so we can do that.
Well, that's awesome.
It'll-
So
it'll-
that changes what we're doing in this report right now.
Correct, correct.
Okay,
And from what I understand,
That was
talking to
not
Sarah
aware of
today, that just happened today, that the invoice was received and that she actually communicated to EFC, so.
Sarah called the janitor 2 days ago, late in the week, to get a copy of that
Thank
bill
you.
so we could present it to the engineers who presents it to the state,
Okay.
EFC. So we're very hopeful we can pay for that generator out of, good for both of us,
Definitely, there's no doubt about it.
okay?
But we won't know this until December, is what you're saying?
Pardon?
You won't have an answer on that until December?
No, I'm hoping it's done before December,
Oh, okay.
okay, before the end of the year. Now, I can't tell you, I've seen things go through there in a couple of weeks, and I've seen them take 2 months, you know, the EFC. I just can't tell you, I don't know that, okay? But it's a good start, okay? I don't know that we've been refused of anything that we applied for through EFC. The engineers pretty much know what's qualifies for reimbursement, you know? So I think that's good news for both of us.
It is, I'm trying to think about how to handle it now in that water report.
Okay, did not know about this a month ago, or
No, we didn't know
just
until,
2-3 weeks ago, we just
No.
found this out.
I wouldn't have known it if I wouldn't have called, because I had questions on some of the emails that she'd sent today.
So we need a motion to approve that separately,
Mhm.
okay. So I'd like a motion to approve that, pay app to EFC.
I'll make a motion, we pay the EFC, or we submit the EFC
Yes.
bill for $39,000 for the generator,
$39,560.
$560.
Okay. Have a second to that?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. Anything else, Julie?
Nope.
I have nothing else. Does anybody else have a, Brian?
I just wanted to mention, we've got that walkthrough coming up,
Oh, yeah.
coming up next week, on Monday, the 18th at 10:30. The walkthrough for the grant from the county.
What actually does she wanna do there?
I think she wants to walk through the entire, our portion of the recreation trail and the two parks, and get an idea what future projects they may be able to fund. So, you know, anything we have that we might wanna bring up to where she may be able to tell us that in the future, you know, now the county's got all that, the coding money and opioid monies, they'll have more money available for the rec trail.
Well, the opioid money is gonna be used specifically for that type of a problem. It can't be thrown around the way the tobacco money has been used. It's gotta be very specific to battle addiction and so on, so. Don't spend any of the opioid money, 'cause
We
it
haven't spent
ain't gonna be there for that. What time on Monday?
10:30 a.m. here to start. And the way I understood it from her was, you know, a place to start was with partial paving of the town portion and some signage if necessary.
I might be able to get that paved this year. The rest of what the town owns.
And she may be able to pay for some, for want of a better term, those candlesticks, we keep calling them candlesticks, but,
That would be
Markers.
great.
The markers.
Yeah.
I would really
markers.
like to see that.
And it's not a lot of money this year, but, I mean, it would be for next year's budget, but those candlesticks are, we'd be taking them down shortly anyway, the markers. But she wants to see what other things we might be eligible for in the future for the grant funding. So that's why she did. I think she would have more time to ask questions and see. And she didn't get to really look at the parks, the Perry's Mills Park and the Bob Ben Park. So those would be two things she'd probably wanna take a greater look at and see. Well, this would be for next year.
Yeah.
And this is a Safe Streets program, correct?
Yes.
Anybody else have anything else?
I'll remind the residents of the town that it's almost election day. So early voting starts on October 23rd and goes through the 31st. And early voting is available at the government center in Plattsburgh. That's where early voting is, so if you wanna vote early, that's starting on the 23rd of October, goes to the 31st. If you wanna vote on election day, from what I can see on the website for the Clinton County government, and I was at the meeting when they approved it, there will be 2 polling locations. So you can, if you are in, let's see here, I guess District 3, you're here, and if you're in District 1 and 2, you're gonna be in Rouse's Point. So that's at the Civic Center for Rouse's Point, or here, and that's on November 2nd.
Thank you.
Jay?
And if they have any questions, they can call the Clinton County Board of Elections. It's 565-4740, and it's 9 to 5. If you have a question about whether you're registered, what district you're in, what the exact times of the early voting, any questions about the absentee balloting.
And I believe the absentee ballot has to be submitted by October 18th.
Not 100% sure on that, but usually it's early.
I called and inquired, so.
It's usually earlier.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have anything? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye for myself.
If
We
my
are adjourned.
jury
Thank you all for
gets
coming.
pushed later in the afternoon, I'll be